Can I first say it is brilliant to see you all here. You've managed to make it in the aftermath of the earthquake. These are troubling times. Actually, it was sweet. There was a man on the radio this morning from Hull, and they were interviewing about the earthquake, and he said when he heard the tremors, he rushed outside. He thought it might be a terrorist attack. And you did think, in the laundry list of terror attack targets, I'm guessing Hull quite low down, bless you. Sleep easy for a good 10, 15 years. But we're not here. We're here to talk about the ICA. Now, living in London, we are incredibly lucky. Things like Othello at the Donmar, the Russian exhibition at the Royal Academy, the Terracotta Army at the British Museum, War Horse at the National, just some of the cultural highlights of the last 12 months that I haven't been arsed to go to see. That's the great thing about living in London. So many things to miss. Now, I need hardly point out to you, dear friends, the depth, variety and excellence of many of the exhibitions and events of the ICA that indeed I haven't seen. But I know they're important. So, here's the thing. You're looking at me thinking, Graham, we long to raise money for this institution. How do we do it? How do we do it? Well, there is of course the silent auction outside where so I think people are wandering around with clipboards, so if you grab them, you can sign up and pledge money there, and you might go away with something. And that you can keep doing that till 10:30. And then, as I said, there is an auction in the middle of the evening, and failing that, you can just shove money in Echo's pockets. He won't object. He'll like it. On, ever on. As I said, people are going to speak for a maximum of 5 minutes about an object that they treasure, that they love.
This is my object. It's my bike. It's just a bike. Hey, that's my bike. Now you might just think it's a bike, and it's quite rusty, as you can see. It's a very important bike. That's my bike earlier in the year. Can you see the wheels? It's on the back of my car, and someone went into the back of it. And I got out, I was really upset, and he said, I'm sorry about your car, mate. I said, I don't care about the car, it's my bike that I give a fuck about, because it's my inheritance. And it's true, my dad, I've got 3 sisters, and I was cut out of the will. Because, in fact, probably because I'm a wanker, but he said to me, they said, well, you've got enough money and your sisters, you know, they're all worthy. They all do worthy things like Shammy, who I'd give one to. So he said, so I'm cutting out of the will. They're getting all my money. And so, but you can have my bike. Now, you might think that's not much. It's a rusty old bike, but in fact, it's a wonderful thing, and it's better than everything. I'll show you. This bike, here's my dad on the bike. Can you see? It's the same bike. That's me when I had hair. That's my mother in a ridiculous skirt. And that's the inheritance that my sisters are getting. It doesn't go on any longer than that. That's as big as it is, really, so they're not getting much. I think I did rather better with the bike, don't you? And he's off on a trip round to France. He travelled on that time from Le Havre to Avignon, which I looked it up on Google. It said it takes 8.5 hours. It took him a bit longer. And then he's been to France. It's 1,003 kilometres, and he then went the whole way across Germany. He went round Ireland on it. He went round Greece, and then he gave it to me. So here it is. This is the globe-trotting bike. And if you think about it, a bike, I mean, it's the only thing that improves the human being's capability, physical capability. There's nothing else that makes you actually go faster under your own steam. You can sail in a boat, and you know, with a sail on it, one of those dinghy things. I'm not much of a sailor, you can probably tell. Shammy's got off me already. Or you know, you can drive a car, and that's an engine and thing. But this is your own steam, and you can go faster than any runner can, and here we are. You see, this is my equation. That's me plus bike. It's faster than Dwayne Chambers plus drugs. And will last longer than any Jonathan Ive iPod, I think. This invention has been around for 150 years, and you know, who knows who invented it? I don't know. Does anyone know? No. Good. Shami probably knows. She knows everything. She's lovely. But I don't know. And anyway, it'll live longer than the iPod. It's jolly good. Now, I first learned to ride a bike when I was 8. It's, there it is. It's a Liberator, a bike. You can see how happy my dad was, loved running away from my wife, and no surprise, my mother, I mean. I'm sorry, it's a long evening, I confess to incest now, sorry. And I do that in the morning, I get on this thing and I run away, but the first time I did it, you know, I learned to ride it when I was about 7. By the age of 10, not this one, but another one, by the age of 10, there we were in the country, and I went away and I got a job, age 10, and I worked all day in the summer holidays for 50p a day, and it made me the man I am. And you know, all these sort of children who whinge in their factories, their Gap factories, in Indonesia or wherever, in their dark rooms, I tell you, it made me a man, and they should grow up and learn their lesson. Sorry, Shami, that's not off me anymore. It's an invigorator. I get on it in the morning and my muse comes. I cycle from Notting Hill to Primrose Hill along the canal. And I suddenly, you know, the blood goes to your head and you start thinking. For instance, this morning I was with my dad. I spoke to my dad this morning early. And he said to me, oh, I just spoke to Ginny Cooper. Last night, and she was sending her regards and things, and I thought, oh, I've met Ginny Cooper. She's a lovely voice, she's got a very deep voice like that, Ginny. And last time I saw her, she was talking about Mills. Mills adores you, and she meant Camilla Parker Bowles. She said she loves that sketch you did of her. Mills, she thinks you're absolutely wonderful. And the only sketch I'd ever done, I said, oh, that's good. The only sketch I ever did of her was, it was Paul and I as the old gits, and Paul's wanking in bed. And I go over to him and pull back the covers, and he's got a picture of Camilla Parker Bowles. And I go, you dirty bugger, it's my turn with that. And I take it, and apparently Mel's likes that sketch. Obviously, that's a private conversation. It mustn't be repeated in a public place. Anyway, this morning I'm on my bike and I'm thinking I'm cycling along the Gillian Bills. Hello, Gilly, hello, Bills, have a drink of the fag. Do you want a drink of the fag? Have a drink of the fag. Oh, have you seen the lovely Otis Ferry? Oh, isn't he lovely? Oh, Otis Ferry. So I'm going along my bike going, oh, Otis Ferry. I suddenly realise there are people standing there. And I'm going past, oh, Otis Ferry. Suddenly get very embarrassed. They're looking at me, why is Harry Enfield doing that? He's a wanker. And that's when it's a very good getaway icicle. Get away from embarrassing things like that. And finally, you can see it's been all around Europe. It belongs to my dad. It's a wonderful thing. You'd think I'd be scared that it would be stolen. Well, I can show you that I can't hear. It won't be stolen because the wheel comes off. And then you see, it's a piece of junk. It's a piece of junk.